Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyimla, Yahweh, Mahashim Yahushai, Mahashim Kahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M, Akwat that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And the true name of the Father in the Bible, the Most High, His name is Yahweh, which means that He exists, or the existing one. And the true name of His Son is Yahweh Shai, which means that He's the Savior or deliverer in the Paleo Hebrew. His name is not Jesus. He's not some blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. And you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are not these names that the so-called white man gave you when he colonized you. You are actually Hebrew Israelites. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel or Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew tongue, and that's your original nationality or your original ethnicity. You're not the names that these people gave you. You're not no damn Americans. You're not Africans. You're not Jamaicans. You're not Latinos. You're not Dominicans. You're not any of these names, man. You are Hebrew Israelites. But I want to touch on this article in the Hill. It says, opinion, Trump is whitewashing U.S. history and embracing alternative facts. And this is what Esau has always done, you know, through iconoclasm, the Renaissance period. They whitewashed all the images and got people thinking that the Lord looked like a white guy. The Father looks like a white guy. The angels look like white people. You know, the apostles, everybody in the scriptures is supposedly them. When in reality, it's the opposite. These are Edomites. And they're going directly into captivity, man, in the new kingdom. See, and their kingdom is dwindling, so they have to do everything that they can to try and keep this thing afloat, and but it's sinking, man. Okay, but it says President Trump's new executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History does just the opposite. It's a declaration of war on American history, demanding that Smithsonian Institution museums and other facilities whitewash the truth about racism and other ugly chapters of our past and present. Now, let me get a quick scripture real quick, because Esau, he's trying to erase the past, but, you know, guess what? The scripture says that the Lord, He requireth the past. So, and the Lord, man, all this stuff is like yesterday to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? See, to them or to us, it may be hundreds of years, but the scripture says that one day, 1,000 years is like one day to the Lord. You see, so the Lord hasn't forgotten this stuff, man. Ecclesiastes 3:15, that which has been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh requireth that which is past. This is like, that was like a couple of minutes ago to the Lord. The Lord, you don't think that the Lord don't see and know and have everything accurately recorded as to what you've done? See, but this man, he even going as far as telling the other European countries to get down with this same shit, threatening them basically, man. It says the executive order issued Thursday night specifically attacks the National Museum of African American History and Culture and the Pan American Women's History Museum, which operates a website but is not expected to open a building for at least 10 years. In an unprecedented act of political interference in the Smithsonian, which describes itself as the world's largest museum, education, and research complex with 21 museums, 14 education and research centers, and the National Zoo, the executive order instructs Vice President J.D. Vance to remove improper ideology from Smithsonian properties. Crazy, bro. This dude is out of his motherfucking mind. But you know what? Let me grab another one, because this is really what's happening right here, too. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. And it's funny, man. You know, we get to laugh at these clowns, bro. This is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. These Edomites know that they have a short time. And see, that word devil, see, people want to, you know, what the so-called white man has done too as well. He got people thinking that there's some red guy underground with a pitchfork around this lake of fire, poking people in the ass, you know, and just tormenting them. When that's not scriptural. That shit is nowhere in the Bible. But this is what he has sold through his media, his movies, you know, his storytelling. He's the adversary. He's the devil. He's the one that's adverse to the Father and the Son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. He's the number one enemy on the list in Psalms 83. It gives you a list of the nations that the Lord hates and that hates him, his enemies. And Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the number one. He's at the top of the list to go along with those Amalekites as well. Those are Edomites too. That's over there in the land of Israel, doing all that, all that bullshit over there. That's gonna draw all these countries into World War III. See? But this is interesting, man. It says, the order says the vice president and the Office of Management and Budget will work with Congress to bar funding or exhibits or programs that degrade shared American values, divide Americans based on race, or promote programs on ideologies inconsistent with federal law and policy. Federal funds provide almost 2/3 of the Smithsonian's $1 billion annual budget. No fucking way you should be spending that kind of money on. And it's a bunch of bullshit anyway. Because they're not telling the full truth. They for damn sure not going to let you know that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites. You don't think they don't know that? You don't think that they don't have the artifacts, they don't have the writings, they don't have the real images? You don't think that they got that stuff, man? It says, what is improper ideology and what degrades American values? The terms aren't defined, meaning they can refer to anything Trump doesn't like. Exactly. Says, I love America and believe I am lucky to live in the greatest nation on earth. And they always saying that, but you've never been to another nation. Just as millions of my fellow citizens do. But that doesn't make me blind to the fact that African ancestors were brought here in chains, brutally enslaved, and then treated as second-class citizens long after emancipation. The Smithsonian must not ignore this. Well, we're still being treated like slave. We're still slaves. We're still in captivity to this man. We're not able to lead this land without this man's credentials. We got to have his bullshit ass IDs, his social security numbers, his passports, birth certificates, fucking vaccine shots, all kinds of shit to try and get up out of here. And then once you get to where you going, guess what? They're gonna put a timestamp on how long you can stay there because he's over you and telling you when you got to get your ass back here. So we're still slaves. It says the Smithsonian should not pretend that racism, sexism, or other forms of prejudice never existed or no longer exist just because that bothers some people. Doing this would turn the institution into a purveyor of lies and propaganda like the governments of Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. This has nothing to do with diversity, equity, or inclusion, which Trump has demonized and ordered halted. It has everything to do with truth. And these people, they're not about no truth. Matter of fact, let me get damn Edomite's not about no fucking truth, bro. You crazy. Think these people are about anything truthful. Their whole existence is a lie. This is Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking lies. These people are complete damn liars, man. They are the devil. They are deceivers. That's what that word devil goes into. It goes off into a slanderer, a deceiver. This is exactly what this man does on a day-to-day basis on a large scale, man. And it's, see, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you go and join this man's military. You're trying to be all fuck. You trying to make history, all that bullshit. You want to go down in the pages of it. These motherfuckers. And if this place lasted another 100 years, Michael Jordan would be a white man in their history books. Mike Tyson would be a so-called white man in their history books if they had long enough to rewrite that shit, right? It says, I attended the opening of the African American Museum in 2016 and have visited again, which I ain't all that African shit. We're not Africans, man. We're not Hamites. We're not Hamites, man. Those Africans are damn Hamites. That's a whole different set of people, man. Everyone with melanin is not the same people. But see, these so-called white people, they forced on you that you're black, you're a damn color out of a crayon box, that you're two damn continents that's named after two so-called white men, because Africa is named after a so-called white man, and America is named after a so-called white man. And they give you these monkey masks and spears and all this shit and got you thinking that you're one of them, and you're not. You're Hebrew Israelites. You come from Shem. You don't come from Ham, man. Matter of fact, let me see. Salakia, bear with me here real quick. Let's open up a page here real fast. Matter of fact, we could just let's put in Ham. Yep, I ain't even had to go that far with it. The Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Ham, right? It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. See? But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So everyone with melanin is not the same people. Those people got beady ass hair. They can barely grow hair. They can't grow beards, a lot of them. You know, we're different people, man. Don't let these people fool you into thinking that you're a damn African, man. Okay, but it goes on to say, always moved by how black Americans rose from slavery to fight for equality and assume our rightful place in our country. This is not our country, man. You're a damn descendant of slaves here. How could you be a damn American? You wouldn't be able to call yourself American if these people didn't kidnap you and bring you here. That's crazy, bro. But this is how blind Jake is, man. It says, I was also moved by the history explained in the National Museum of the American Indian. And that's a Hebrew Israelite. They're from the tribe of Gad. Those are Hebrew Israelites as well. And this is who they're fucking with. If you notice, they're only fucking with the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They're not pushing away any other history as far as their people. Hell, Trump trying to get his damn face etched on Mount Rushmore. You think wouldn't that be considered DEI as well? You trying to make history? They talking about putting this guy on a $250 bill or some crazy silly shit, man. Anyway, it says, and I hope to be around to visit the American Women's History Museum and the Smithsonian's National Museum of American Latinos when they open in the next decade. See, bunch of bullshit. They always gonna put y'all in some bullshit, man. It says the job of the Smithsonian is to tell the American story and the stories of other countries accurately, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not to paint a fairy tale version of the past and present. Indoctrinating young Americans with fake history is educational child abuse. But this is what they want. Because see, they understand. Train up a child in the way he should go. Let's get that real quick. They understand that. See, they're trying to get rid of it. All they got to do, all they need is a generation or two, and they pretty much about there. He's getting rid of the Department of Education, right? All they need is another generation, and they'll have you Negroes thinking that you've always been here and you've been equal with him. It's Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So this is what they want to do. They indoctrinate the kids in school, and then these kids will grow up and they arguing with you about you was never a slave. Because they're going to feed them the history that they want to feed them. That's how you know you're still in captivity. Because the man that's running your curriculum, he's over you. You don't have no say in no curriculum here, man. You have to send your kids to these schools and learn what these so-called white people want them to learn, and that's that, man. So where's your freedom at? It says, yet Trump's executive order demands the censoring of the truth about America. Over the past decade, Americans have witnessed a concerted and widespread effort to rewrite our nation's history, replacing objective facts with a distorted narrative driven by ideology rather than truth. The order states, this revisionist movement seeks to undermine the remarkable achievements of the United States by casting its founding principles and historical milestones in a negative light. Under this historical revision, our nation's unparalleled legacy of advancing liberty, individual rights, and human happiness is reconstructed as inherently racist, sexist, oppressive, or otherwise irredeemably flawed. But it's impossible for the Smithsonian to truthfully tell the American story without mentioning racism, sexism, and other forms of discrimination, bigotry, and flaws. Should the African American Museum say that people of all races were enslaved, that slavery had nothing to do with racism. Should it deny that slavery was the root cause of the Civil War? Should it portray slavery in a positive light? A beneficial institution that educated Africans from what Trump once called shithole countries and gave them valuable job skills, free comfortable housing, good incomes, and equal rights with other Americans. But see, this is Esau, man, because let me get another one. Psalms chapter 73. Yeah, the shit piss you off, bro, but it's just something we got to deal with until we out of here. Because he's going to pay for all these things, man. I'm going to start at verse 3, Psalm 73 and 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, because this is their kingdom. They don't get the punishment in courtroom systems like how the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans get. They give themselves a little slap on the wrist, for crimes that's just out of this world, man. Right? It says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. This is the point right here. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. See? They speak loftily. And that's Esau. And the man of sin, the son of perdition, is being revealed. That's a part of the end days prophecies as well. Let me grab that real quick. Because this man is being revealed, and that's what's happening. What they're trying to do is they're trying to cover up their tracks again, because this internet is kicking their ass. Them TikTok videos, it's too many. Everything is about them. The spotlight is directly on them as being the wicked, and they're trying to control that narrative, and it's done. They can't do it no more. So it's next phase. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna come down with great wrath. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that they have but a short time. That 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And that day that cannot come, that's the day of the Lord. So this man, that's a part of the prophecies, that he has to be revealed before the coming of the Lord. And we can see everything playing out. The wars, rumors of wars, the pestilence, famines, earthquakes in diverse places. Nation against nation, kingdom against king. We can see all these things playing out. And also that 2 Timothy 3 and 1, down to verse 5 or so. In the last days there shall be perilous times, that men will be lovers of their own selves, unholy, unthankful, without natural affection, fierce, without self-control. All those things are happening, man, roughly paraphrasing. Right? But see, this day cannot come. The Lord can't come until this man be revealed. And he's being revealed right now. See, he's got people thinking that really there's a red guy. He's got on a red suit. He got the two little horns on his head. He's got a little pitchfork. And he's torturing people around this lake of fire under earth. And that's nowhere in the Bible. But he has sold that shit through movies, and people really believe that. When people think of the devil, they think of that character. When people hear of Jesus, they actually think of a so-called blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. When the scriptures clearly describes the Lord as being a dark melanated man. You don't think that the Smithsonian don't know the color of the children of Israel? What color they were when the Lord walked the earth? You don't think they don't know that? They know that shit, man. They got all kinds of artifacts in that place. First, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, it goes on to say, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he is God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Right? Because he didn't gave you, everybody in the Bible is a so-called white person. He didn't give you a white Jesus. He didn't give you white baby angels. He didn't give you a white God. And it seemed like all the pictures are always butt naked, or look as if it's just something, nasty and molesting about it. It's retarded, bro. Every movie that you ever watch, as far as biblical, it's always them playing the parts. So you don't think that they're gonna pay? They're gonna pay for that stuff. They have to be revealed. Anyway, let's go back. I didn't want to keep it long. I'm not even sure how much more. It's a little bit more to the article, but it's a very good article, very interesting article. And the Hill, you know, they're pretty reputable, you know, as far as their you know, I kind of watch them on the news sometimes on the Roku. Let me see. Somebody said, okay, it says, as a black girl growing up near New Orleans in the 1960s, I learned firsthand about racism. I had to drink from colored water fountains and use colored restrooms. Well, you should have stayed on that tip. Because I don't know why you was marching, getting dog sicked on you, water hose sprayed on your ass, to go and sit down on the same toilet as this man. That shit is just retarded. You had water fountains, man. It says white parents and students threw eggs at me and other black students when we integrated an all-white school. I've been called the N-word more times than I can count. Which you should we was better off before we integrated with these people. Well, Martin Luther King, he sold you that nightmare. Y'all went marching and getting damn German shepherds sick on your fucking asses, man. Doofy. It says, yet my parents, grandparents, and enslaved ancestors had it much worse. We made progress on the long road to equality. Man, no damn equality. Why want to be? No, we want to be over them because we are. We are the children of Israel. We're above those people. Fuck being equal with them. There is no equality when it comes to us and them. Because as long as they're ruling, they're not about to let you be equal. That's stupid, man. Matter of fact, let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This is the real gospel, man. Deuteronomy 7 and 6, the real good news. For thou art an holy people. This is what the Lord is saying about you, Jake, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord Yahweh thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. We're above them, man. All that trying to be. Why would you bring yourself down to their level? These are peasants, man. These people don't even have sense enough to even treat the air and the water and the food right. Everything is just trash, man, in this man's kingdom. Why would you want to be equal to the trash man? Come on, bro. Anyway, it says this is a story all Americans need to see, presented by Smithsonian Museums, which they don't tell the full truth neither though. So it is what it is. Along with the stories of all other Americans who make up our glorious, diverse population. Since it was created in 1846 by an act of Congress, 1846. You don't think that you don't think they don't have the history of the Israelites in there? Deep down, probably 20 floors underground on that bitch, hiding your identity. Come on, bro. The Smithsonian has been run on a non-political basis by historians, scientists, and other experts. A board of regents that includes the sitting vice president and chief justice of the U.S. governs of Smithsonians, overseen by Congress. That's the way it should stay. Well, you know, when it comes to money, guess what? Esau greedy as fuck. Just like what Trump trying to do with those universities, talking about anti-Semitism. He's going to take away the funding. Guess what those universities going to do? They're going to comply because they need that money. They want that money. They're not going to be like, well, you know what? No, we're just going to disconnect. Like, why are federal funds even going towards these places anyway? Anyway, it says it would be expensive, chaotic, and harmful to require the Smithsonian museums and other facilities to overhaul their exhibits and change the way they tell the story of our country every time a new president enters the White House. It would also insult the public's intelligence to feed them a politicized and sugar-coated version of the American story. And see, you Edomites, you've been so proud before. You had statues all over this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You used to be proud of matter of fact, you know what? Let me see. Let me see if they probably done whitewashed a lot of this shit too, or got rid of a lot of it. Let's go back. Let's just look at some of the proud ass faces on. Let me just put in I'm just gonna put in slavery hangings. They probably done got rid of a lot of those pictures of white people looking up and smiling and laughing with their big head ass kids. Yeah, they done got rid of a lot of those real pictures. Yep, they done got rid of them. There are real pictures of Edomites standing around, you know, with a big dumbass smile on their face after getting out of church on Sunday, hanging you, Jake. Let me see. This. They want you. What do they want you to do? No, see, they're not showing that. See, they trying to get rid of all that because they used to have those pictures on here. They trying to scrub everything. But guess what? The Lord knows, man. The Lord knows. Let me see. Let me try something else. I mean, they're ashamed of their history now. I'm just gonna put in white people watching public hangings. I mean, you can't. The shit is embarrassing to them. See, here you go, right here. Here goes some of them right here. Real photos of Edomites standing around. You know what I'm saying? With big stupid ass smiles on their face. Look at this. Look, weirdos. Big dumbass smiles on their face. So why aren't y'all still proud of this? You should be still proud of this. You see, they was prideful of this type of stuff in that day and age. But now, all of a sudden, we can't talk about it. My children are hurt when they see it. You see? See? Poor white trash at that too. But anyway, you get the point. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to put this stuff out there, man. Esau is not getting away with the things that they've done, man. Okay, but that's pretty much about it. It says the Smithsonian should be devoted to truth and not some alternative reality. As the historian John Hope Franklin, 1915 through 2009, a pioneering scholar of Black history, said, "Our histories can shape our futures. We must confront the past in order to move forward." Man, look, the Lord got this is their future. The Lord already got it mapped out. So while you want to hold hands with these people, as a matter of fact, the scriptures talks about that too. Let me see if I can find that one. Though hand join in hand. Because see, Negroes really want to be Americans. They love these people. They love the so-called white man more than they love their own people. They'll gun their own people down, but they'll stand there for 20 minutes holding the door open for a motherfucking white person that's fucking 50 feet back from them. Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And who's that seed of righteousness? So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites. Who's the wicked? The wicked are not going unpunished. These so-called white people, they're gonna get what's coming to them. That's prophecy, baby. Can't get around it. Matter of fact, let's get that one in Revelation, chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear." If you have some understanding, because this is what's about to happen to this man. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what we're patiently and faithfully waiting on. We don't have no power or no might. Like right now it's raining. And I just it literally just before I started doing this lesson, I jumped in the vehicle. But I seen it was a worm, crawling on the ground, and I jumped over him to keep from stepping on him, man. But it made me think Jacob is that worm, because we're defenseless. But guess who's gonna fight our war? The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. He's gonna fight for us. All these nuclear weapons and all this shit this man got, that shit ain't gonna be nothing to the Lord, man. The Lord is gonna demolish this man. He's going directly into captivity, man. And let's get the law too. Since he wants to, he's pushing Make America Great Again Bibles and all that shit, talking about America, Christian country. Man, this place is trash, bro. Here you go, you fronting with the damn Bible, but you not keeping nothing in it. That's that Psalms 50 and 16, I think. Yep, here's the law. Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Didn't they steal us? Didn't they sell us? Aren't we still in their hands? So it's not going to be a good look when the Lord comes, man, to handle these people, man. Let me get that Psalms, since I quoted it. We can end out here, Yahweh Ratazah. Yeah, some of the shit make you hot, man. But we just gotta keep a cool composure until it's time, to the Lord, because the Lord, He's gonna make that. He says, wait till He rise up to the prey. But this is Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked, which is the so-called white race, because they are the wicked. Job 9 and 24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? This man is in control of the entire globe. He's all out in space. This motherfucker he's in the oceans. So we know who's running the planet. So that scripture says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So that makes them the wicked, right? This is Psalms 50 and 16 again. It says, but unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? What you doing with the Bible? You're wicked as hell. What you doing with it? You're not. Matter of fact, it goes on to say, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. You hate the real instructions in the book. So what are you doing with it? You're running throughout the earth. You stealing. You killing. You robbing. You murdering, and then all in the name of an idol, which is this white guy. So this so-called white guy named Jesus. Lord's name is not Jesus, man. See? Let me get this. I think that's Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. So that's what we're waiting on. We're just waiting on Yahweh. But we got to teach this word. We got to prophesy the downfall of this place. We have to do that. That's our job. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So all these nations got to pay. But overall, Esau is number one on that list, man. In the book of Psalms, chapter 83. So, I'm gonna end off there, man. I just wanted to just do something on this because I seen it, and then this man is doing all kinds of shit. There's a bunch of these stories, man. Let me see, where was I at? Somebody said this one right here. Over 1,900 researchers protest White House assault on science. We see real danger. And then there was another one that I seen. I don't think I went into it though. It was one on him basically.